Hi everybody, Susan McGarry here, and it is pouring where I'm at, and so I wasn't sure if I was going to do a live video, but at the last minute I thought, why not? It's a quick one, I'm going to do it quick, and then we'll see if the weather or Facebook has an issue, but hopefully it should work out today. I'm hoping the rain doesn't ruin it. So it should be a pretty quick one. We'll see, you know how I can be, but I'm going to give it a shot, okay? So what I'm going to show you today is dichro on dichro, and that's just short for dichroic glass on dichroic glass. Nothing fancy, just dichroic glass, but sometimes we call it dichro, just a quick way of saying it, dichro on dichro. And after the last video, I got a lot of questions about fusing dichro onto dichro. And so I wanted to do a quick video to explain it. And so I made a few samples, and I should be able to show you pretty quickly. What dichroic glass is just, it's made by taking regular glass. It could be black, it could be clear, it could be colored glass, and they put micro layers of metals or oxides on it. And when you fuse those pieces of glass together and they soften, when you fuse pieces of fused glass together and they soften, they stick together, right? But these metals won't stick to other metals. So if you were to put dichro on dichro, they wouldn't necessarily stick. But there's ways around it, and I'm going to show you some examples. So I'm going to tilt the camera down so that you can see my examples as I go along. Here we go. Okay, that's a pretty good angle. Unfortunately, it's backwards because I know that that happens on Facebook sometimes. So this is a piece of clear glass, and this is a piece of dichroic glass, and this is dichro, and this is dichro, and I'm going to call it dichro from here on out. And first we need to find out which side has the dichro on it. And I'm going to try and do this on camera. It's kind of difficult. You take some sort of sharp object and you put it, let's see, against the glass. Can you see the reflection of that pointy object? Do you see that little flickering light of the pointy object? There's a distance, there's a space between it. Now if I turn the glass over and I do the same thing, do you see how the point, let's see, it's tough, but you can see that, right? The point, it's touching it. It's like a mirror. That tells me this side has the dichro. Flip it back over. Let's try it again. The reflection of this pointy object is going through the glass. There's a distance, a space between it. Kind of hard to see. You'll see it better when the glass is in front of you. I hold it at an angle like I'm showing you. If you do it straight down, it's sometimes tough to see. Oh, that one's working. Now we don't want to see the shadow. We want to see its reflection, like in the mirror. So you can kind of see that. So I know this side has a dichro. I'm going to leave it up to remember. You do the same thing with this piece. This side's the dichro, I already know that. On something like this is ripple glass. I know it's coated on the ripple side. The flat, smooth side does not have the dichro on it. So that one's easy for me to see. Okay, here's a couple of examples of dichro on dichro. And I have a little chart that I'm going to keep when I'm done with this, and I'll show you what I do with it. Here's the case where I put dichroic glass, this piece of glass, on black, and I put the dichro up. So dichro up. And here's my little chart, dichro on dichro. The top piece, or the bottom piece, we're doing the bottom piece right now, dichro up. And I have a little chart down here that tells me DU means dichro up. So the dichro is up. The top piece, dichro down. Remember, I had it up, so I'm going to flip it over, and I put the dichro down. That's what it would end up looking like. This. Do you see those little spikes along the edge of it? That's the dichro trying to, or the clear glass, because remember the clear's on top on this one. The clear glass is melting and trying desperately to stick to that layer of dichro right now. Clear glass will stick to dichro, but that right now dichro and against dichro, it won't stick. It's just sort of repelling, so that the clear glass is just trying desperately. So I have a little sticky. I'm going to put this right here. So I remember, that's dichro up and dichro down. This one is the same thing, dichro up, but in this case I took a piece of ripple and put the dichro down. So now the dichro is touching again, right? And see how it's trying to grab along the edge? That's all those ripple things. The clear glass is trying to wrap around desperately and stick to the glass. So it's doing a pretty good job, but still you can do better. So I'm going to stick that one right there. So I've got dichro up and dichro down. Okay, so now all my dichro's up again, just so I can remember. So one option to get around that is do dichro down, especially if you've got clear dichroic coating on clear glass and you use a piece of black. You just flip the dichro down. Oops, let me switch that around. One way around it, here's my example, is the dichro is up. So dichro up on the black, and then this dichro up. So now they're both up. And do you see how that fuses in? Let's see, there you go. You can see how that's fusing in because the clear glass is sticking to the dichroic, right? So that's one way around it, but now your dichroic isn't coated with clear. Maybe okay. The next option is to take the dichroic glass and flip it over. Now it's down. Here's what it looks like down. It's got the dichroic on top, and in this case I used the ripple glass, and I put the dichroic up. So now we have dichro down and dichro up. I'll put this one, let me show it to you. Dichro down, dichro up. So now we've got that clear layer of glass in between, right? We've actually got two clear layers of glass. Let me flip this back over so I remember. All my dichro's up right now. The next one is pretty easy to figure up, right? I put dichro down. Let's see, I'll move this hand. Dichro down. And this one, I also do dichro down. Now they're both sort of underwater. They both have that clear layer on top. But what happens is the dichroic of this top piece sort of merges up. It's kind of a cool look. Can you see that? That's pretty awesome. So it's a good look. I like it. And I'm not worrying about that dichro sticking to dichro, right? Let's flip everything back over. And the last example is dichro up and dichro down. And you get this sort of matte finish now on the bottom layer, and you get this underwater shiny look of that centerpiece. Oh, you know what I did on this one? I gotta take that back, because it wouldn't stick, would it? I have dichro up, and this one is dichro down. They wouldn't stick, so a way to solve that is to put the clear in between. Now I get to keep that underwater look of this one and the matte finish of this one with a clear layer in between. That's how you get it to stick. But it's going to blob out a little, so you're going to have to do some cold working or be prepared for it to be sort of, you know, not square shaped. So let's go over this really quick. I'm sorry it's backwards for you in the video. I do a little chart. I just stuck them on there with, you know, foam double stick tape, so you can see that. And I label it, and I put the date that I did it, and this will always be my reminder if I need it. Clear dichroic on black base glass, so that reminds me that these are all clear dichroic pieces on a base of black glass. And then I noted that DU means dichroic up and DD means dichroic down. And then I put it on here. Here's the top piece, that little piece right there, little piece right there is dichro down, dichro down. And the bottom piece, this big square piece, is dichro up, dichro up. That's that DU that's in reverse. You guys can see it. The picture's the most important, right? And so here's dichro up, dichro up, dichro up, dichro, oh, did I say that wrong? Let's see. Oh, dichro down, dichro up, dichro down, dichro down. This one's dichro up with dichro down, but with clear glass in the middle. So that's my little chart for it. Let's see if I can get that in there. That's pretty close. There we go. You can see that. Now, if you want, you're allowed to screenshot and just flip the picture, I guess. I don't know. Or even better, make your own example. But just know that this was what I was talking about in the last video. Dichro doesn't really stick to dichro. It does just a bit, but really it doesn't. It fights it and potentially could pop off. This isn't adhered very well and it could pop off. This is a much better way to go. If you can find another way to do it, I really recommend it. If you really want this look, put that clear glass in between. Otherwise, go for one of these. And having your dichroic coating on clear glass gives you that option. If your dichroic coating is on a black back glass, you don't have that option of flipping the dichro over and putting it down. So I'm a big fan of the clear dichro, and I use glass, black glass or some other color. If you want multiple layers, you can always do thin black and thin, or thin color, and thin clear dichroic, so that you can layer up 2 or 3 layers and still end up with that 6 millimeters. So, does that answer that question? I'm going to raise it up. Hopefully it stays. Oh, goodness, guys. Okay. That's it. That should explain it all, right? I saw you guys were saying hi. I saw you. I just had to get through it before I lose track. I wanted to stay on track. But I think that explains why dichro doesn't stick to dichro. And I didn't see any questions, so I guess we'll end it. So thanks for joining me, guys. Have a good day. Bye, honey bunnies. Oh, I have a bonus question. One bonus question, because another question I get asked all the time is, has anyone been with me long enough? I've been doing these videos for over 2 years, and something happened during a video, and now I say, be cool, honey bunnies. If you know why, if you've been with me long enough, comment below. Tell me why. So I'll see you later. Be cool, honey bunnies. Bye.